There's too much things to go over, so I guess just gonna have to try and break things into 100 pieces. But dogs are thinking dogs, and sometimes when they have too many things going on in their life and too much stress, their fuse pops, meaning that they cannot take any more information. And we're not going to talk about building food drive in dogs, but sometimes it doesn't matter how many hot dogs you have, they just don't care. And so, how are you going to get a dog to work if they don't want hot dogs, if they don't want cheese, and if they don't want cookies? Well, maybe they want a ball. How about a ball? How about a toy? How about a ball? Any of this? Anything? It's all yours. Just, like, listen to me. Hello. I'm going to give all this yummy stuff to the squirrel over here. You don't care? Squirrel's like happy. So it comes down to it. Does your dog really have no food drive? Or is your dog just overwhelmed with all the things that he's thinking about that he has to stop some things so that he can deal with everything that's being thrown at him? And that means certain things like eating or chasing a ball is out the door because he can't process anything. And he has to just try desperately to focus on one or two things for a success. Because if he doesn't get a success, he's going to just keep getting more and more and more confused, more and more stressed, more conflicted, and he's going to spiral down into a hollow hole of existence where nothing makes sense. So let's just pretend like this dog does like food. And it isn't really the fact that he's not hungry or he doesn't like the food that we have, but maybe he just has too much going on in his head that he just cannot deal with one more thing. So it comes to a conclusion on that is, what are we trying to problem solve and help him find a solution to? Well, each success that he gets, each one, yes, each success that he finds builds him up to be strong enough to do another one. And that one makes him strong enough to do another one. And pretty soon, he starts feeling like he's super dog. But each failure brings him down, 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 down. And then he just doesn't have the will. It's kind of like when you have a bad day and another thing happens and another thing happens, and there comes a point where you just don't have it in you to actually get up and try anymore. And so let's talk about that. What you're really looking for is a victory. And sometimes the dogs are stressed out to the point that they can't deal with anything. And if you try to grab them and force them to deal with the situation, you're just adding more stuff to them. So they're like, I already had a bad day, and then now you are going to make me hold me down, which really, really is bad, and then you're going to make me deal with stuff, and no, oh, I can't take it no more. And then he's into possum limb, and that forces him into, the flight, like, I'm out of here, find another dog. Or he's into the stop, one way or another, we're going to stop this, and you're teaching him to move forward. Stop, 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 hey, stop, stop, don't do that to me no more, until I stop. So what I like to do is I like to take this poor thing and I like to try and simplify his life. So sometimes when he's in this situation and I can't touch him because he either wants to run for his life or wants to attack or he wants to bluff, there's no point in me trying to touch him because he's way gone. If I want him to see another critter, he can't because he's already, look at the thing, he's already stressed out. He's over here thinking, going, I don't know how to survive life, and maybe if nobody does one more thing to me, oh my gosh, what is it? What is it? Oh gosh, no, go away, go away, go away, go away. I can't think. Oh, go away. Go away. Yes, everything's gone. Now back onto my thinking. So he can't take anything else. So what I try to do, just like us when we're having a bad day and the kids are bugging us and the dogs are telling us things and the boss is telling us things and everybody's at us at one time or another. Sometimes we want just to go into our bed and sleep. And so that's what I offer is a think tank, meaning that it's a safe haven for him to stop and think about life. It's not a punishment. It's not me being mean to him or anything. What it basically means is that nothing can get him. The squirrel cannot touch him. I cannot get him. The world can't get him. Nothing can bug him. And he can try and find peace and figure out something. And that's the purpose of a think tank. A think tank is just a haven for him to sit there and ponder. And maybe too much stuff going on. Oh my gosh. If too many things are going on that are much, maybe the sky's too much. So we take the sky away from him. No need to worry about the sky. Oh no. He's still got things to think about here, things to think about here. All right, so let's go ahead and take another option away. He's like, that's good, but I still have to think about this stuff. And then we're like, okay, well then we'll just go ahead and cover that up too. So then he's like, okay, well then the only thing I'm thinking about is what's directly in front of me, and I can study it and come to terms with it. And that's the purpose of a think tank. Think tank is not a punishment. It's not a timeout. It's a safe haven to be able to go in and observe and watch. Nothing can come and get him. I can't touch him. Nobody can get him, and he can sit there and relax and study. And if it's too much for him to study, I start taking variables away. I start covering up things so that he has less options to think about. So then when he's in his think tank and he's like, oh, I can't do with anything, and he starts getting comfortable, then I'm like, okay, you're good with that part of life. Let's let you have this. And then you're starting to stress out again, so we cover it up. And then maybe we do a little peekaboo and a little bit more. And so then when he's starting to get really good with that, then I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty good. How about if we, too soon? Okay, I'm so sorry. Go ahead and process. Think about it. Okay, you're feeling comfortable? You're feeling comfortable? Oh, you're feeling very comfortable. Okay, so then we can do that. So then he's like, okay, well, that's good. And how I figure out how I know if he's doing good is if he actually likes food, I put the food in his thing. If I notice that he's not eating it, that means he's processing way too many things in his little head. So maybe I need to give him less things to think about. So I start covering it up. And when I start seeing the little hot dogs start to go in his mouth, and he's like, yum, 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 I know that I can start opening things up. But the minute he spits that hot dog out, bleh, I know I need to cover it up. So what the goal of a think tank is to enable the dog not as a punishment, but as a safe haven so he can think. Because all dogs want to succeed, none of them want to lose, and we don't want to lose our hot dogs. I mean, I like my chocolate. So I call it the hot dog test, and it's a means of ways for me to know whether or not my dog is actually overstimulated and they can't think, and that I need to pull away variables out of the equation to find a starting solution, a starting place, because a dog's success later on in training starts with a good foundation. If the dog doesn't have a good foundation, it doesn't do any good. It does me no good to take him and say, eat this hot dog, eat it, you'll love it, and you love it, you love it, you love it, you love it, it's good, bah! No, bad dog, eat it, I love you so much. That's just silly. He doesn't like that. He wants to sit there and think about, well, you know what, really wasn't that bad. Because now that I know it can't get me, I can study it. So I can look at these things that don't really make sense to me, like the squirrel who's right here. And since I know the squirrel can't get me, I can actually watch it without fear. I don't have to worry about preservation. I don't have to worry about attacking it. I don't have to worry about it getting closer because it cannot get me. It can torment me. Hello. But it can't get me. And so therefore, it can learn how to deal with things without putting the dog through pressure, which is like shock collars or prong collars or yelling at the dog, stressing the dog out, and all these different ways of trying to teach a dog, if you do this, this happens. If you do this, this happens. Well, does that really work? Because what happens is maybe in some cases a dog will look at the situation and say, every time I see a squirrel, I'm going to get in trouble. And then he kind of maybe might think that the squirrel equals him being in trouble. So please go away, squirrel. And so then he's like going, please, for the love of all that's holy, get away from me. Get away from me before they notice that you're near me and I get in trouble. And that doesn't fix the problem. Teaching him that the squirrel, being as annoying as possible, it's going to be a dog or a human being or something, it doesn't really matter because it can't get him. And then he's like, I was really silly about being over concerned about this little squirrel or person or dog. It doesn't really matter what it is. And it's not that bad. So I think I'll go ahead and have my hot dog. Thank you very much, because it's pretty darn yummy. And then you have success. And that's a starting point. From there, you can build on success, 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 until you rechange and modify the behavior into something very pleasant and delightful and become a good canine citizen and a good member of the community, which is what we and all dogs would want.